The scrape of metal on metal at 2:17 a.m. ripped me awake. On the porch camera feed, there she was, Patricia Donnelly, our HOA president, crouched like a discount cat burglar, frantically trying copied keys in my front door while muttering about community standards. She had no clue my wife Emily, a federal prosecutor, was already on the phone with the feds. Voice ice cold, "This is Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Brooks. Breaking and entering in progress at 1427, Maple Ridge Lane. Suspect is using burglary tools on private property. What would you do if your HOA Karen decided your house was her personal kingdom at 2 in the morning? Stick around, because this story is 3 years in the making. And the fall is chef's kiss satisfying. Oakwood Grove used to feel like the American dream, neat lawns, kids on bikes, that gentle hum of suburban peace. Then the developers rolled in. Slap McMansions everywhere. And suddenly our old family property got swallowed into the new Pinewood Falls HOA. I'm Ryan Ellis, 37. A disabled vet who came home with a spine that sometimes feels like it was reassembled by a drunk mechanic. I run a small woodworking studio in the back, turning oak into furniture as therapy. Emily and I kept the place mostly as my grandparents left it, solar panels from the 90s. A deep well. Propane tanks that actually work. Nothing flashy. Just ours. Enter Patricia Donnelly, 54. Real estate shark. Freshly relocated from some sterile subdivision. Within 6 months she'd bulldozed the old and formal neighborhood rules and installed herself as HOA president with a smile so fake it could curdle milk. We're all about protecting property values and maintaining standards, she'd coo at meetings. Pearls gleaming. Translation: anyone who didn't look like a catalog family was a threat. The first shot came on a sunny Tuesday. Certified letter. Of course. Unsightly solar panels and commercial-grade propane tanks must be removed within 30 days or face $2,000 daily fines. I drove over to her office with Grandpa's original deed and grandfathering paperwork neatly clipped. Patricia didn't even look up from her phone at first. Those modifications weren't approved by the current board. Mr. Ellis. Ma'am. They were installed 28 years before your HOA existed. She finally met my eyes. And that's when I saw it, the cold calculation. Property values are a shared responsibility. I'm sure a veteran like yourself understands rules. The way she said veteran dripped with polite disgust. Like I was something stuck to her Louboutin. I smiled, nodded, and left. Inside, I was already cataloging. Because that's what you do when you've been slandered for months, rumors that I was unstable, antisocial, probably faking the disability for benefits. Patricia's little whisper campaign had half the cul-de-sac side-eyeing me at the mailbox. I stayed quiet. Watched. Documented every snide comment. Every anonymous concern email. Emily came home that night. Read the notice. And her prosecutor eyes went sharp. She just handed us the rope. Babe. Things escalated the way only entitled Karens can. First came the anonymous neighbor complaint demanding a full interior inspection within 72 hours. Health and safety violations, the letter claimed. Emily laughed out loud when she read it. HOA covenants cover exteriors. They have zero legal right to step inside without a warrant or genuine emergency. We politely declined. Patricia lost her mind in the group chat, passive-aggressive posts about certain residents who think they're above the rules and protecting our children from hazards. The rumors got uglier. He's got God knows what in there. Probably hoarding. Or worse. Then the Saturday morning fire truck parade. Sirens blaring at 6:47 a.m. Because someone reported a propane leak. The chief found nothing. Of course. but we got slapped with a $3,000 false alarm fee that Patricia magically waived for everyone else. Better safe than sorry, she told the chief with that saccharine smile while staring straight at me. I kept smiling. Kept filming with the new cameras I'd quietly installed after the first notice. Emily started her pattern file, dates, times, dollar amounts, witnesses, every petty fine, every false report. She called it building the cathedral. I called it watching a Karen dig her own grave with a smile. The real turning point came when someone accidentally dumped diesel into our well while we were out of town. Power lines to the solar array were cut clean. The water ran oily rainbows under the kitchen light. Patricia sent a group text the next day, so sad about the Ellis property. Hope they get it sorted before it affects everyone's values. Our cameras, motion activated, battery backed, cloud stored, caught everything. Contractor truck, license plate, 2 guys with jerry cans. The company? Registered to one Patricia Donnelly. Emily's smile when she pulled the business records was terrifyingly beautiful. This just became federal. Honey. Safe Drinking Water Act violations carry real prison time. Neighbors started talking. Old Mr. Hargrove, a retired judge, dropped by with coffee and dropped the bomb. Patricia had pulled the same forced sale trick on the previous owners down the street. Her real estate company handled the listings. She was bleeding people dry. Buying low. Flipping high. All while hiding behind HOA standards. The harassment went nuclear. Police welfare checks after anonymous tips that I was threatening neighbors and stockpiling weapons. 3 visits in 2 weeks. The deputies eventually got annoyed and started documenting her as the harasser. Then came the social media campaign, vague posts about dangerous elements and freeloaders bringing down the neighborhood. Never naming me directly. But everyone knew. She even sent a cease and desist claiming I was harassing her and threatening my VA benefits. Emily read it once. Set it down. And laughed that low, dangerous laugh. Threatening disability benefits as retaliation? That's a federal civil rights violation. ADA territory. She just upgraded herself from annoying to indictable. I stayed quiet in public. In private, I upgraded the cameras, helped Emily build the timeline, and watched Patricia unravel. Every time she doubled down, she looked more ridiculous, pearls clutched, voice syrupy, eyes wild. The neighborhood started to notice. People who'd nodded along to her meetings began avoiding her. The mask was slipping, and the schadenfreude was delicious. Then came the night everything exploded. Patricia had been practicing. Our cameras caught her doing dry runs, creeping through the trees, testing response times. She thought we were oblivious. Tuesday night at 2:17 a.m. She finally committed. Flashlight jittering. Crowbar in her purse. A fat ring of copied keys jingling. She tried every single one in our front door. When none worked, we'd changed the locks days earlier. She moved to the windows, prying like a suburban ninja on bath salts. Emily was already on the line, breaking and entering in progress. Suspect is armed with burglary tools. This is connected to an ongoing federal investigation involving civil rights violations and environmental crimes. Send everyone. The motion lights snapped on, bathing Patricia in bright, unforgiving white. Her face, priceless. That moment of pure animal panic when she realized she was lit up like a Christmas tree on every camera. She froze. Keys dangling. Mouth open in a perfect oh shit. Sirens approached silently at first. Then the lights. Deputies surrounded her before she could drop the crowbar. Ma'am, Step away from the window. This is HOA business, she shrieked. Voice cracking. I have every right to inspect. These people are violating covenants. He's a danger to the community. The deputy didn't blink. You're trespassing with burglary tools on private property. You're under arrest. The body cam footage was gold. Patricia kept talking the whole time she was being cuffed, full confession on tape about needing to protect property values and certain residents who don't belong. Every word. Every delusional justification. Recorded in 4K. 48 hours later. The emergency HOA meeting looked like a circus. 150 residents crammed into a room built for 50. Cameras rolling. Local news vans outside. Patricia showed up looking like she'd slept in her car, hair wild. Eyes puffy. Still trying to project authority. Emily stood up with a folder thick enough to stop a bullet. In her calm prosecutor voice she laid it all out, 47 documented incidents. Security footage. Financial trails showing Patricia had funneled HOA money into shell companies to buy distressed properties cheap. $340,000 in unreported income. Environmental crimes. Civil rights violations targeting a disabled veteran. Witness intimidation. The room went dead silent. Patricia tried one last stand. She pointed at me. Voice shrill, he doesn't belong here. None of these people do. They bring down standards. The silence that followed was beautiful. Then Emily smiled. Thank you, Mrs. Donnelly. That's a textbook federal hate crime statement. Captured on camera in front of 150 witnesses. Mandatory minimum 10 years. Patricia's meltdown was legendary. Screaming about conspiracies. Property values. How everyone was ungrateful. The second set of handcuffs clicked on while she was still ranting. The applause that erupted as they walked her out could have powered the whole grid. The HOA was dissolved that same night. Replaced by a voluntary neighborhood group run by Mr. Hargrove. Property values actually went up. Turns out people like living somewhere without a tin pot dictator. My woodworking studio became the Oakwood Veterans Workshop. Helping other disabled vets find purpose again. Emily got promoted for dismantling a neat little racketeering scheme disguised as suburban governance. And Patricia? 5 years federal. Full restitution. And her name is now shorthand for "Don't be that HOA Karen." So here's the question that always sparks the best fights in the comments: was Patricia just a dedicated HOA president trying to maintain standards, or did she become the exact kind of power-abusing bully the rules were supposed to protect us from? Who was really in the wrong here, the guy quietly living his life? Or the woman who thought her clipboard gave her a license to terrorize? Drop your take below. I read every single one. And if you've got your own HOA horror story that smells like criminal activity, tag it. Emily's task force actually investigates the good ones.